To have you this morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. And Memorial Day 2020. Coach Johns has got the USA hat on with the American flag. Just a great, I love the hat. Love the hat. So first of all, we want to kick it off every day and say we're grateful for you, first of all, and grateful for you being here. And we wanted to do this a little bit different today. This is not a word for today. This is in remembrance of what we should be remembering all day today, and that's Memorial Day 2020. And I first just want to kick it off and say a huge thank you to all the men and women in our military that has served our branches and has paid the sacrifice for our freedom. And I just wanted to see on here of show of hands. Susan, Bill, can I see you this morning? Is that possible? I don't know if they can unmute their line or not. So I know I see Mr. Bill right there. Bill, I know personally you. I just wanted to say thank you for your sacrifice. Bill was in Vietnam. In the profession I'm in right now, Bill was one of the first people I met at a convention years ago that I said, I'm all in after I met him. True story, right, Bill? Yeah. Bill, I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's true. Matter of fact, and I've told you this before, we kind of met you on the conference floor and met you and your lovely wife. And as we walked away from that brief conversation, I turned to my wife and said, there's a person who's become a leader and who's going to do well in this industry. I remember that clearly because every time we met you after that, you were so personable. I knew you had your heart in the right place.
Well, Bill, thank you. And today is about you. And Bill was in Vietnam, and
Yes.
The biggest thing today is I wanted to get you on live and say thank you. Thank you for your service, for your sacrifice, and for protecting our freedom. And raise your hand if you were in any of our military branches. We want to recognize you this morning. I see Andy Craig. Thank you. If you will, keep your hand up, because I know Bill Salins, Peggy Miller. I see Peggy raising her hand. Anita. Thank you, Anita. Thank you so much. Coach, am I missing anybody?
Eva Marie.
Eva Marie, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this day is about you. And me and Coach just said, you know what, we don't want to do a word today. We want to spend just a few minutes, each one of us, saying thank you. And Bill, I'll mute your line there. So I thought about mine this morning, and I thought what I was going to say, and I always take it to heart, but I couldn't write it down because sometimes when I write it down, I can't just bring it out. Does that make sense? And I want to bring it out to you, but I want to kind of be a little bit vulnerable this morning. So don't be quick to judge or get mad. Okay. But when I was growing up as a little kid, here's what I remember about Memorial Day. I remember cookouts, and I remember time with the family, and I remember, doing fun things, going to the lake. We didn't have a lot of money growing up, so man, we'd go to the lake. That was a big deal. Riding on my dad's back, getting him in a bear hug, fighting in the river. I remember all that. And we did, get together on Memorial Day. And it wasn't until years later that it really hit home to a different meaning. And I want to tell you about that just in my life. And if I get a little emotional, it's okay, because today is really a day that I will, wherever I'm at, I'll reflect. And I taught school. All of you know that. And so I'm this young teacher, right? This hot-headed coach, that like to get in there and with the players. And I'll never forget when 9/11 happened. I'll never forget the classroom I was in. I'll never forget the dazed look on my face. It's kind of like when you see a car wreck or you see something, you're like, what is going on? I'll never forget the looks on my kids' face. I remember the kids that were sitting in the desk as we had this thing called the Channel 1 TV in the room. Some of you that were teachers remember that. And I remember it coming on live on there. And we watched the second plane hit. And this led me into an area where Memorial Day was forever changed. So fast forward, I had a player come to me and a student that I adored. In his senior year, we had a little time talking about him joining the military and him going into the Marines. And he did proudly. He wanted to serve our country. And his name was Matt Conley, and he was our quarterback. And Matt Conley joined the Marines and was sent off to protect us and our freedoms, and proudly did it. And he was married. He had just recently got married. And right before he was about to come home, he was killed in the line of duty. His wife was pregnant with their firstborn. I'll never forget the call I got. And I'll never forget being asked to help with funeral. And we had it at the school. I'll never forget that day. I'll never forget going to the memorial site and people lining the roads with their American flags to pay tribute. And for me, that's when Memorial Day changed forever in my life. And I realized wherever I'm at, whatever I'm doing, I will forever take this day to be in remembrance. Because for a lot of people, it'll be a day that they'll get to be around their families. They'll get to be happy. They'll get to cook out. And that's okay. As long as we remember the people that gave their sacrifice, and for some gave all, like Matt Conley, that allowed us the freedoms to be able to do what we're doing on this very day. So, Coach, that was my thought. I couldn't put it down on paper, but I wanted to bring it out. And I just want to say that for all the servicemen and women across this great land, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Coach Meyer, I'll turn it to you.
Wow, that was appreciate you sharing that moment with us, Coach. I'm sure that was a very difficult time for you. I do remember that. That was a tough situation. But, for everyone on the call and everyone throughout the country who have number one, lost someone, or you served, to me, it's a whole nother level of appreciation that we should have for these individuals. It's, as I was growing up, and as Brent, I remember the day very well at Coffee High School when 9/11 hit, and looking in the children's eyes. I was in the gym and having to explain to them what was going on and saying to them how we know life is never going to be the same. And as we just get there we're going through this pandemic, it's kind of weird, but it was a trying time. But I do think it's really important for us to keep our focus on days like today. Number one, it's like Brent said, all of us spend time with families, either through the weekend or this day specifically. But families who have lost someone due to war, or some families that have lost someone protecting us in our country, these are people that we should never ever forget and never ever quit praying for, because I can't imagine losing someone like that directly. I know I've had friends that have lost a nephew in war, and it's been very difficult. I do have friends whose family served in different wars. I actually had some uncles who served in Vietnam and the Cambodian War, but we're blessed to get back home. But today was just a day that Coach and I just thought, when we talked about it, yeah, we want to always be positive in modes, but we never want to get to a point where we don't recognize the people who sacrificed for us. Never want to get it. And I think that, yes, we're so appreciative to everyone who is fighting for us every single day. But I think sometimes as humans, we tend to forget the real relevance of Memorial Day and the people that literally lost their lives fighting for us. So I think it's important today. Yes, let's go out and enjoy our the beautiful weather and family and friends, whatever your plans are today. Planting flowers. I see Dusty planting, and I've still got a few to go myself today. But let's enjoy that. But may we never forget the true meaning of Memorial Day and what it truly means. And I just thank you again for being on the call this morning. It's always a blessing. And just that's all I have this morning, Coach. I just thank you. I thought it was very important. I know it was for me, and I know it was for you, Coach Palmer, to spend some time reflecting upon what this holiday truly means. And my challenge to you as we leave the call today, try to help a young person understand, because in today's society, our young generations do not understand what has been given for us. Try to help somebody understand that, what Memorial Day truly is. It's, we're going to all have fun. There's going to be a lot of carrying on, but challenges teach someone that may not truly get it, what the relevance of today is. That's all I got.
Thank you so much, Coach. I couldn't agree more. I actually just right over the computer, I've got my son with me this morning. And I told him, I said, I want you to listen in this morning because today is a special day of remembrance. And so I hope we did a little honor of that this morning, token of our appreciation and thanks for the sacrifices. And again, for all that is served that tune into this or maybe watch the recording as it's on Facebook and other forms of social media. We want to thank you for your service today. And we remember you today and your sacrifice for our freedom. Let's have a great Monday. And as you see someone out there today, let's all do that. I think we can all reach out to somebody today and tell them thank you for their sacrifice. We owe that. We owe that. So have a great Monday. God bless. We love you so much. See you back tomorrow.
Love y'all.